Inside the Huddle with Steve Corries from ClaxonSports.com. Sponsored by Coshocton Regional Medical Center.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Corries, and this is Inside the Huddle. We'll be back with Chad Lahna, the head coach of the Ridgewood Generals, in just a moment.
This is Coshocton County. This is our home. And when something unexpected happens, it's nice to know that excellent care is right here in our neighborhood. At Coshocton Regional Medical Center, we understand that injuries and illnesses are never convenient. And that's why we're making it easier than ever to get care when you need it at our urgent care in Coshocton and our walk-in clinics in Warsaw and Newcomerstown. Be seen today at Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most.
My guest today is going to be Chad Lahna, the head coach of the Ridgewood Generals baseball team. And, Coach, really I appreciate you being on with us.
I'm glad to be here. You know, we were fortunate enough to get you see take some BP. You know, it's been a few years probably since you've been in the cage, but nonetheless, you still look good.
It was pretty ugly. Yeah. A lot of swing and misses, that's for sure.
That happens. That's all right.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your team this season. It's still a young team, but also a team that's had a lot of experience from a year ago. So how would you assess at least the early going?
Correct. So we started the year with 25 guys in the program, 3 seniors, 4 seniors actually coming back from last year's squad. And you are right, we're still pretty young in terms of age-wise, but the guys that we're going to rely on this year have played now for 1 and some even 2 years. So what we're looking for them to take that jump to the next step, produce a little bit more to kind of get us back into the mold where we were a few years ago when we were competitive and ready to play.
All right, let's talk a little bit about, I kind of like to talk about from the outfield moving on in, taking a look at your outfield. From what I remember, pretty much you have your 3 outfielders back from a year ago?
Yes, that's correct. Grant Lahmer's a senior, Jackson Cabot a junior, Logan Ridenball a junior, Carter Kelly a senior. They've all played significant innings in the outfield. It's nice because some of them do throw as well, and we're able to interchange them. And we do have some younger guys in the mix. Hopefully as the season goes on, we can get them some innings and get them some reps out there as well.
All right, let's talk about the infield. I know you're solid at shortstop. Everything else, kind of give us a rundown.
Yeah, so again, we bring back everybody in the infield as well. You know, we lost senior Robbie Gaston last year as our second baseman, so that was kind of an opening for somebody to fill. We don't have anything set in stone. Jace has been at shortstop now for 2 years. We've got Caleb Schultz. We've got Mason Kaiser. We've got Cohen Parsons. We've got Connor Croy. A whole bunch of guys that we can kind of move around to different spots, which is nice. It's difficult as well, though, because we only do have that one opening from last year coming that we need to fill. So a lot of guys have been battling for it. They've been putting time in. Junior Colton Maple, you know, he's going to be there as well in the mix at the corner spot. So we're pretty fortunate in that. The more reps we get, obviously, as the season goes on, you know, the more comfortable they'll be, and hopefully things will go from there.
All right, catching, how's that look?
So, again, catching, Brody Harding's back, and sophomore Jaden Smolder, he'll be backing him up. Again, you know, we'd like to get several guys. We've got a group of probably 15 to 17 guys that we can throw in on a varsity night on any given night. And, you know, we'd like to build reps with them. And, again, the years does not matter to me, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. We're looking to put a competitive product on the field, and you know we've got a lot of guys back at different spots, so we're happy about that.
All right, pitching. Always really the key to any team. How's your pitching look?
So that's the strong suit I would say that we go into the season with. We've got everybody back in terms of all of our arms from last year. With losing Robbie, he didn't really see much action on the mound. So we've got Connor Croy, we've got Logan Ridenball, we've got Mason Kaiser, we've got Cohen Parsons, Grant Lahmers will throw, Jackson Cabot will throw. We've got some younger guys who are eager to get on the mound as well. So in terms of depth, we've got a lot of arms that we can throw out on any given night, which is a nice thing to have. We don't have a prototypical number one. You know, when I think of a number one or an ace, I think somebody's going to go out there and just – they're going to pound the zone with fastball after fastball after fastball. None of our guys will throw incredibly hard, and we don't need to. But we've got a lot of off speed that we can keep guys off balance, and it makes it a nice problem to have because we don't know who we were going to put out there. But 1 through 7, we can know we got guys we can count on.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about your schedule. I know you've been able to get some preseason games in, and I always think that's important. Historically, I've noticed, especially in non-league games, you've done a little bit about what you've just said. You know, you put people in positions, try to get some experience, et cetera, until you get to the league.
Correct. So we've had 4 scrimmages. We're fortunate to get them all in. Mansfield came down, Tri-Valley came down, and then we were on the road to Sheridan, or to, Philo and John Glenn. But usually this time of year, we don't get those reps early on because of the weather. So it was nice to do that. We've kept our schedule the same as it's been in the past. You know, we're forced to play the league games. We got the crossover games, and we like to kind of be a little bit more competitive with those non-league games, those Saturday games, even a Friday night game, just because we'd like to build that experience. I'm not big on wins throughout the regular season, although they're nice. What we're trying to do is we're trying to develop our program and get us ready as the season progresses into that tournament time. I take a lot of grief from Coach Slusser. You know, the league is important, but the problem is that if you lose a couple games right out of the gate in the league, you're kind of falling behind a little bit. So at that point, in the last several years, we've had to kind of regroup and focus on other parts. But our schedule will be pretty competitive, and we're anxious to get going tomorrow.
All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate your time here, and good luck on the season.
All right. Appreciate it, Cooz. Thank you.
Inside the Huddle from ClaxonSports.com. Sponsored by Main Street Station Restaurant. Sponsored by Main Street Station.